Hello, wonderful people, and welcome to episode 3 of the Jonathan Falco Show. I am Jonathan Falco, as always, and before we begin today, I just want to make a scheduling notice here for the foreseeable future up until the football season. For this first week of the Jonathan Falco Show, I've been really blessed with a boatload of news, both good and bad, with the Myles Garrett trade happening, A.J. Brown, OTAs, Russ retiring, which we're going to get into today, Derek Hall getting paid. There was a lot of stuff. That's not going to be a guarantee for the rest of the summer, and I'm just going to keep that very blunt. I have a boatload of content ready for you guys, so what's going to happen here on YouTube and Spotify, which I thank you guys for listening to the Jonathan Falco Show here on YouTube and Spotify. Subscribe, follow both platforms, greatly appreciate it. Go follow my Instagram and TikTok and X at Jonathan Falco Show. No, I'm sorry, my X is J Falco Show. Instagram and TikTok is Jonathan Falco Show, at Jonathan Falco Show. You can follow me there everywhere, but I want to make it a little clear. The Jonathan Falco Show itself isn't going anywhere, but for podcasts like this, it's going to be one time a week. And the reason I want to do that is because I want to be able to rile up a boatload of news, like just recapping the entire week of the Seahawks, a little bit of NFL news, quite frankly, because not everything is going to be about the Seahawks. Myles Garrett getting traded to the Rams sucked for the Seahawks, but there's going to be other like NFL news that I'm going to want to talk about, and I'm going to want to give my takes to you guys about. And yes, this is still going to be mostly Seahawks. I'm not taking that away. The videos I'm going to bring out during the week are going to be Seahawks based. Like that's not changing. But for the Jonathan Falco Show, I do want to bring in some NFL news, maybe pro wrestling. I don't know yet because it kind of doesn't fit the theme of the Jonathan Falco Show. So I'm going to say for right now, no. But for next Friday, so every single Friday from here on out, there will be episodes of the Jonathan Falco Show. It will be a bit longer of a podcast, but it will be a lot of fun. It will be a good amount of recapping, stuff like that. But today, for this last final episode of the regular Jonathan Falco Show, which you guys have been getting for about like 30 minutes a day, which I thank you guys for listening to. As I said earlier, we'll be talking about Russell Wilson retiring, as I alluded to, and OTAs. It's going to be a whole Russell Wilson first half and then OTA second half. Going to be a lot of fun. Let's start with Russell Wilson. Wow, this sucked. This really sucked. This broke. I mean, listen, when he got hired as a CBS analyst, I think it was like a week ago, people presumed that he was going to be done with football. I didn't, because I wasn't sure because he was receiving the offer from the Jets. I was like, oh, is he going to take that? He was considering it. And then he takes CBS, which I was like, fine. Maybe he takes CBS for the year. Like Mike Tomlin's going to be taking a year off to come back into football for 2027. That's kind of what I was thinking initially with Russ. But no, he retired. And that kind of caught me by surprise. A lot of other casual NFL fans were kind of like, oh, this was expecting to happen. It threw me off. I'm not going to lie to you, but he did announce on his social media with a great video. It was like a 5-minute video. Got me a little upset, but it was great. Well done. He announced his retirement a couple of days ago on Wednesday. I was going to have something for the Jonathan Falco Show on Wednesday about it, but it was just too short notice. I believe I was recording a segment of the show when Russell Wilson retired. I think it was in between two segments. I think it was between the salary cap and the Derek Hall stuff, and then Wilson retired, and I'm like, okay, great. So I dropped something on my Instagram and TikTok, and that was it. Now we're going to get into in depth about my thoughts on Russell Wilson, what he means to me. He captioned "Thank you football" on his social media as well. I mean, great stuff. He's been reposting stuff from former teammates, players, just everything. It's been really heartwarming for somebody that is the best Seahawks quarterback of all time. Like, not even close. Here's what Russell Wilson means to me personally. I became a Seahawks fan after watching Beastquake. Little me, I think it was like 5-6 years old me, watched Beastquake happen. The Saints were the reigning Super Bowl champions, and the Seahawks were hosting the game, obviously, because we were the 4 seed. We were an under 500 team at the time. I didn't really care about that at the time. I was watching a football game. It was wild card weekend, you know what I'm saying? But then Beastquake happened, and that's when I became a Seahawks fan. But I love Marshawn Lynch, and he was hilarious. Everybody knows that. But Russell Wilson was somebody that childhood me could relate to. Russell Wilson was the person that not didn't make me a fan of the team, but made me fall in love with the team. And as somebody like that was kind of trying to figure out who I was going to root for, I was trying to be different from my family, which is why I obviously picked the Seahawks also. And that was a part of it. And Russell Wilson was that guy. That was my hero, pretty much. He was the person that like resembled me in a way. That somebody that never gave up, and his mantra stuck with me for even to today. Why not you? Because it shows you that wherever you're from, he's from Richmond, Virginia. He's a black kid from Richmond, Virginia. That's what he said word for word in his goodbye video. Like and Pete Carroll took a chance on him. John Schneider took a chance on him, and that's inspiring. A third-round pick out of Wisconsin should not, like logically, have made it to 10 Pro Bowls, been one of the most loved and respected players of all time. That's just unheard of stuff right there from Russell Wilson, and I love him for it. His humbleness on and off the field. I have all these notes down. Just want to make sure that I have everything, quite frankly, because there's so much I could say about Russell Wilson. Like his moonball, I can talk about that all day. His humbleness, really, on and off the field, is like a character that everybody should try and resemble, because he's such a humble guy, faithful guy. I mean, come on. Really, he's a very big Christian. But he's my hero, man. You know, I'm going to stumble over my words a bit with this, because he's somebody that I can't even like put into words how much he means to me. Like, I'm trying to as best as I can. But whatever I say on this podcast doesn't even come close to the amount that Russell Wilson actually means to me. Like, he's a dream interview of mine. He's somebody that I would love to go and meet. And as I was saying earlier, man, he's the reason why I went from a Seahawks fan to freaking loving this team and breathing this team. Man, he's everything to me, man. I mean, like, he's the reason I fell in love with football. He's the reason I'm a football nerd. And in a way, he's indirectly the reason why I have a boatload of friends that I do today. Like, especially in the college I go to with college. I mean, it's so, go Bombers, by the way. It's so crazy to me how much he means to me, how much football means to me. I can go on and on. But I want to tell you guys a really funny story about Russell Wilson. When he got traded to the Broncos, Seahawks fans have this date engraved in the back of their minds, March 8th, 2022, because Russell Wilson obviously got traded that day, and then later that night, Bobby Wagner got released. When Russell Wilson got traded to the Broncos, I walked out of class. Yes, I did. All right, listen. I did. I'm a huge Seahawks fan. You guys really want any validity of if I'm a true Seahawks fan, if I bleed blue and green? Yeah, this is it. March 8th, 2022, I was a junior in high school, and it was like around like the 1:40-ish Eastern time, 1:40 Eastern, and I literally just look at my phone. It was a Bleacher Report text. I didn't have social media at the time. I was a junior in high school. I wasn't big on X at the time. So I got a notification, Russell Wilson gets traded to the Broncos. So we were all doing a bunch of group work and whatever. So people were talking, chatting with their friends and all that. I just scream out, Russell Wilson's a Bronco. And then somebody across the room goes, what? And I'm like, I'm done. I walk out of the class and I go to the bathroom. And my phone just explodes. People are blowing up my phone. It was that moment, just in the heat of that moment, my gosh, my teacher was concerned for me, because it's just, that's how much he means. Like, that's like Superman becoming a bad guy. That's like Anakin Skywalker turning to the dark side. Like, that's how much this meant. Like, that's like Anakin Skywalker turning to the dark side and trying to explain that to a child. That's how much. It's a funny way of putting it, but that's how much he means. Like, that's how crazy that trade was. And obviously it worked out well for us Seahawks fans. We won a Super Bowl thanks to, ironically, that Russell Wilson trade. But he, like, the person himself will never be replaced. Even on this Super Bowl team, which I am very grateful for, changed my life forever. Like, these are the type of moments that change your life, that just stun you in this Russell Wilson trade itself, and obviously his retirement stunned me. I mean, and from 2023 on, though, even after his time in Seattle, I rooted for him. 2023 on, I want to hint that because Seahawks fans know we had their draft pick, which they were terrible. It turned into Devin Witherspoon. Thanks, Russ. I rooted for him 2023 on because the draft thing was over. The trade was pretty much done. We got our players, got our picks, whatever. So, but even then, I rooted for him in Denver. I rooted for him in Pittsburgh, and I rooted for him with the Giants. That Giants game where he dropped like 450 yards. His last touchdown was a moonball, by the way. I want to make that very well known. That's besides the point. That 450-yard game showed me, okay, this guy might be still in the league for the next couple of years. Next thing you know, he has the worst game of his career the next week and gets benched for Jackson Dart. But, again, he's somebody that I would always root for. I wish him so well at CBS. I mean, he's going to freaking kill it. He's humble. He's a PR guy, which CBS, that entire pregame show is pretty much PR. I mean, you had Matt Ryan on the show beforehand. That guy's a definition of stand-up. I mean, he's like an executive with the Falcons now. Go figure, right? I mean, this guy just screams PR. He's like, both of them, Matt Ryan and Russ, they scream PR guys. They're, traditional interview, he's a perfect pregame host. He's not going to bring a whole lot of entertainment per se, but he's going to give you some good analysis. Hall of Famer. Yeah, Russell Wilson is a Hall of Famer, whether you like it or not. If you don't like that, as Ernest Jones says, fuck you. No, I'm kidding. You have your right to your own opinion. But Russell Wilson's a Hall of Famer. And here's the case. 10-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion, one-time Walter Payton Man of the Year. I'm going to get into that in a second, about why that's actually important to his Hall of Fame resume. Super Bowl champion, as I said. Wait, did I say that twice? Yeah, I said it twice. Should have been 2-time Super Bowl champion. 353 touchdowns, 114 interceptions, 46,966 passing yards. The greatest deep ball that I've ever seen. And then he had a putrid O-line for pretty much most of his career. The only time where he had a pretty solid O-line was when he won the Super Bowl and went to the Super Bowl against the Patriots in Super Bowl 49. His best years, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2017, how can I forget 2017, were without an O-line. His best O-lineman was traded for midseason from Houston. Dwayne Brown. I remember little me being stunned that I saw a Pro Bowl left tackle wearing a Seahawks jersey. I was like, who is that? I was trying to figure out who that was. I was like, oh, Dwayne Brown. Of course, because he got traded midseason. That's how putrid his O-lines were. I mean, granted, he was a lot of money, but it made sense. But he was still elite without an O-line. The Seahawks were 12-4 in 2020. And Russ didn't have an O-line. But, this guy, for me, he's not first ballot. I'm not going to say he's first ballot. I'm not. But he is a Hall of Famer. For sure. And let's get back to Walter Payton Man of the Year. Because, in my opinion, it shouldn't give you, a complete, edge over, somebody who's, notably, worse than you. Or better than you, I should say, sorry. Somebody that's notably better than you. But what I will say, it's great supplementals. I think, this is a very hot take, I think that the Walter Payton Man of the Year award that he got in 2020 overwrites him playing his way out of the Hall of Fame these past, 4 years? I think it overrides it. I think his 10-time Pro Bowler, 9 with Seattle, 1 was in Pittsburgh in 2024, so 9 deserving Pro Bowls, and their Walter Payton Man of the Year erases everything he did in the bad stint in Denver in 2022. It erases the time in Pittsburgh, and it erases his very short tenure with the Giants. That's my hot take. Because I think the Hall of Fame, granted, a lot of it obviously is going to be what you do on the field. But what you do off of it, in my eyes, if you're going to bring this award, look at what Walter Payton was. Look about who Walter Payton was. One of the best people to ever walk this earth. That's like not only was Walter Payton a great running back, but he was a great human being. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame. May he rest in peace. Russell Wilson, one of the best football players that I've ever seen. One of the best men that have ever walked onto a football field. And has done great work off of it, obviously. He earned the Walter Payton Man of the Year. And he's got the accolades, guys. He's got the accolades on the football field to prove that he's in the Hall of Fame, too. I'm telling you, he is a Hall of Famer. Now, let's compare him to people that, these guys are for sure in the Hall of Fame. Matt Stafford. Now, listen, these two were very comparable before Matt Stafford won his MVP. Obviously, Matt Stafford's better. He has more passing yards, a few more touchdowns. Actually, no, it's like close to 100. It's like 75 more touchdowns than Russ. But they were comparable because this Matthew Stafford year, Matt Stafford had 40 touchdowns this past year? He would have roughly 380. That's 30 more touchdowns than Russ. And Matt Stafford played in let's take out the games that he played this year in his MVP year. He had 239 in total, including his MVP year. You take out 17, that's 222? 222 games to 205, and you have maybe, what is this now? 2010, 40? You have 40 more passing touchdowns than Russell Wilson? That's comparable, dude. And he's for sure a Hall of Famer. Matt Stafford's a Hall of Famer, even without the MVP. This guy's a Hall of Famer. Maybe not first ballot without the MVP, but he's a Hall of Famer. Now, that's comparable to Russell Wilson. Now, here's somebody that is going to get into the Hall of Fame, unfortunately. He shouldn't be a Hall of Famer, but he's going to get enshrined. It's Eli Manning. Russell Wilson clears this guy. Only 13 less touchdowns in 30 less games. Less interceptions by far. Russell had 114. Eli had 244. A better completion rate, more rush yards by a large margin, obviously. Russ had 5,568. Eli had 567. More rushing touchdowns, 10-time Pro Bowler to Eli's 4. Russ has an All-Pro. Eli doesn't have any. Eli's got 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Russ has a Super Bowl. And Eli's got 2 Super Bowls. He beat the greatest of all time twice. Give me a freaking break. Oh, but defense doesn't win championships. Oh, but he wasn't carried by his defense. Eli Manning wasn't carried by his defense. When Russell Wilson dropped 43 points on the Denver Broncos, Eli Manning, I think he got, 17? Twice? All I'm saying. Defense wins championships unless it's with Russell Wilson. That's all I'm saying. But notice how I really want to, because listen, you can make the argument Matthew Stafford is like a level above Russell Wilson, and frankly, I agree with the MVP. But Eli Manning, this isn't even close. And Eli Manning is going to get into the Hall of Fame because he's a Manning. Russell Wilson deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for 100,000%. That is what I've got to say about this. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments, because this is a huge deal for me. This is a huge deal. This is the longest segment we've had on this show. This is 20 minutes of me rambling about how important Russell Wilson is to me. His moonball, he would go the cameraman would lose the ball in the air. That's how high he'd chuck it. And even little me would just sit back and just watch it fly. And it would be in either Tyler Lockett's hands, right in the breadbasket. Even somebody random like a David Moore, Freddie Swain, whoever. Percy Harvin, he's not random, but that's besides the point. Golden Tate, Paul Richardson. He would just throw lofters into all of these guys' hands. These are relatively mediocre receivers here, guys. I'd even say DK Metcalf, Doug Baldwin, Jermaine Kearse. Those guys are obviously above average, but he was making the most random receivers work and made them look really good. When was the last time you heard of David Moore? I think he's with Carolina now. When was the last time you heard of Freddie Swain? I think he's out of the league. When was the last time you heard about Paul Richardson? These are guys that Russell Wilson turned up. He was able to, turn the dial up for these guys from, 2 to, at least 7. From the most mediocre receivers possible. and his deep ball will clear anybody else's. It's better than Josh Allen's, Mahomes, Rodgers, whoever. Yes, even Aaron Rodgers. Even though his Hail Mary is great, best Hail Mary of all time, his pure deep ball, Russell Wilson clears. That's it. That's my take. Let me know about what you guys think about that in the comments too, because that would probably spark some controversy. I think Russ clears Aaron Rodgers. Now, Rodgers obviously being the better player, Wilson's deep ball clears. Sorry. End of story. That's all I've got to say about Russ. I mean, not that I have to say that that's not everything I'm emptying out of the tank, because I could talk about this for hours on end about Russell Wilson. But let's move on. Yeah, and before we continue, I just want to make things known that entire Russell Wilson's thing was completely uncut on purpose, because I want to show you guys what Russell Wilson truly meant to me. Raw emotions, no cuts. I have my notes in front of me, but at the same time, I kind of just wanted to give you guys a good 20 minutes on just telling you guys what Russell Wilson means to me, and including a pretty funny story that I had in high school. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Let's talk some NFL news, though. So I know I was gonna do OTAs this entire day, and yes, I'm sorry, I'm delaying it again. The reason I want to delay talking OTAs is because, frankly, I want to start doing, like I was telling you guys earlier, on Monday, I want to do an entire video on OTAs. And the reason I want to do that, it's because there was a lot of really good stuff at OTAs. So, and I don't want to overshadow anything, because I just talked for 20 minutes about Russell Wilson. I did. Go figure. If you know me, that's not surprising. But what I am going to say is on Monday might be my best video yet. I think it might be better than any other episode that I've done on the Jonathan Falco show, period. End of story. I'm going to try and implement graphics. I'm going to try and implement some other things. So you guys have a little bit of a visual representation of it. And that's going to be that. And I'm really excited for OTA. I really, really want to get into it, because there's so many stories. I want to get in depth. I want to do graphics. I want to do a boatload of stuff. And I'm super excited for that. But for right now, we're actually going to take a step away from the Seahawks realm, because frankly, there's not really much else going on outside of OTAs. So I want to get into some NFL news that kind of caught my eye today, and that was that the Bears are actually going to move to Indiana. What? I mean, I think there was a vote that was passed today that actually is going to allow them to go to Indiana, which to me, it doesn't make sense, because, okay, I get it. It's not that far from Chicago, like Illinois or whatever. I think it's a place in Indiana that's pure. I think it's a place called Chicago, and it's pure sports. Indiana sports have been doing really good these past couple years, so I guess they're trying to get another team in Indiana. Whatever. I'm not a fan of it. I think they could have done something in Chicago. I think the people in the front office or the politicians, I don't want to speak too much on it because I don't know the whole situation, but I think they fumbled it. I don't know how you can get the Bears out of Illinois. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But it looks like it's going to happen now. So with that, I mean, I'm a little upset about that. I mean, listen, the Madden curse already is into effect already, I guess. I mean, I really don't know how anybody in the Bears fan base, quite frankly, can justify this, because, oh, big deal, you get a couple of new fans in Indiana. A lot of people from Indiana are going to be rooting for the Colts. You're not going to freaking switch any childhood lovers of the Colts into flipping to the Bears, or any new fans from Indiana to go and be Bears fans. I'm sorry, that's not happening. You already have a football presence in Indiana, and that's the Indianapolis Colts. It doesn't make any sense. I don't care how close it is to Chicago. This is a huge fumble. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. There's other NFL news out there. I believe Jonathan Cooper got arrested. Yeah, Jonathan Cooper got arrested. The Broncos linebacker. That sucks. I mean, there's a lot of like nothing burgers going on in the NFL right now. Minus Odell Beckham Jr. also coming back to the Giants, which is also pretty cool because like 2026, 2016 kind of thing that people were comparing the 2 years for whatever freaking reason. I guess this also helps their case, I guess, because Odell Beckham Jr. hasn't been on the Giants in over what 8 years, I believe. It's been a really long time. Yeah, 2018 was 8 years ago. And yeah, he'll be back. That wide receiver room is a complete catastrophe. It's like literally Malik Neighbors and a bunch of perennial wide receiver threes. It's Neighbors. It's off the top of my dome here. It's Darius Slayton, Odell, obviously. I believe they got. You know what? I'm actually gonna look live in front of you because I'm gonna go and react to this live. I'm just gonna sit there and probably laugh at this wide receiver room. Yeah, literally. Look at this. So it's Neighbors, Slayton, Mooney, Calvin Austin, Malachi Fields, their rookie out of Notre Dame, Isaiah Hodgins, OBJ, and Juju Smith-Schuster and Jalen Hyatt. What on earth are they doing? I mean, listen, it's great to have wide receiver competition. It just seems like there's a bit more of like a necessity there for the Giants front office. I don't know. I don't feel like wide receiver is that big of a necessity. I feel like there are other holes need to fill. Offensive line. I mean, I get it. They drafted Maui Noah. I believe they extended the right tackle, Jermaine Illuminor. But I don't know. The left guard position, the center position, I don't know either of those guys. John Michael Schmitz and John Runyon. Andrew Thomas is pretty good, but he's coming off an injury. I don't know. The Giants' direction's a little weird. I hope they do well under Harbaugh. Jackson Dart leading the charge. Cam Scadaboo coming back. I think it's going to be a pretty good team. It's going to be a very, very fun football team. But, again, not really a whole lot of NFL news to talk about these past few days, minus the Myles Garrett stuff, which is pretty surprising given the amount of news coming out, especially with these first couple of days of the Jonathan Falco show, especially on Monday and Wednesday. I was able to get a boatload of stuff, especially with the Seahawks, which I'm very grateful for. But, yeah, that's really all I have for you guys here today. Thank you guys so much for listening. And on Monday, won't be Jonathan Falco's show. It'll be an entire OTA-filled episode. I am so freaking excited. I went through all the press conferences, a boatload of quotes. I want to get more. Quite frankly, that's how quote-infested, analysis-infested this Monday episode is going to be. It's not going to be the Jonathan Falco show. It's just going to be a video exclusive to YouTube and Spotify. There'll be visuals, everything. It's going to look great. I'm so excited. So should you. I'm not putting this off any longer. Do not worry. I know I promised I was going to put some short-form content on my TikTok and Instagram. I'm sorry I broke that promise. I'm going to get some stuff out on OTAs on Monday. I want to get everything set in stone. Any new stories that come out this weekend, I'll have ready for you on Monday. I'm excited. That's all I've got for you. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Jonathan Falco Show. I'm going to see you guys on Monday.